I am ready. Are you ready? If you're ready, let's see your hands up. Yeah, so guys, we're about to go live on YouTube, and we're about to start episode 4 of our software engineering journey or software development journey. So yeah, it's nice to have you on board. You know, I've been away for I think a day or two because I haven't been feeling so well, but now I'm back. So don't forget to check out the channel, and don't forget to check out what we do. All right, so guys, let me make sure I am live, then we can jump into development. Right, if you're interested in learning mobile applications development, don't forget to check out the channel. Don't forget to check out my channel to confirm what I do. Yeah, so we are live on YouTube, and we are active on TikTok as well. So shall we get to work? All right, so Game Boy, if you are interested, you check out the YouTube channel, right? Yeah, you check out the YouTube channel. The name is Code with Secho. Right, the name is Code Research. I pinned it on the screen. I don't know if you can see it or not, but this is the YouTube channel. Right, the name is Code Research. We are live on YouTube. You can check it out, and also when you get on YouTube, you follow the WhatsApp channel from there, and then you can have access to all our content. Yeah, so guys, I think we would have to jump to this side and check out the design. Let's check out what we have to do, and then yeah, so in the episode 3 we were able to build all the way up to here and here. So let's confirm from the design. Guys, if you are watching on TikTok, don't forget to check out the YouTube channel, right, and join the club, because very soon we will be going global, so you should force and then join this club. Yeah, okay, so let's go here and then let's rerun our app and see what we have. So if you are new to this, this is Code Researcher. This is the episode 4 of the software engineering journey. So if you are interested in learning mobile applications development, if you're interested in software engineering, and you want to learn how to build your own apps, this episode was made purposely for you, right? Yeah, so guys, yeah, looking at the design, as you can see, we were able to build our shimmer effect. I already told you what a shimmer effect is. The shimmer effect is this gray things that shows when your data is loading, and then I already show you what the bottom nav is. This is a bottom nav. Guys, don't forget to drop a follow, a like, and check out the YouTube channel. This is a bottom nav that I showed you guys the last time, right? And then this is also the app bar that I showed you guys the last time. So in our previous episode, we were able to build this and all this, right? So now in this new episode, we will be moving on to building this, which is good morning, the salutation, right? And then this. So we'll be building this whole items together, and then afterwards we'll build this as well. If you are ready, come with me. Let's get into development. Yeah, if you have any question, you put it in the comment section. If you are watching on TikTok and you want to have a better view of what we are doing, you can check the YouTube channel. The name is Code Researcher, and then you have access to it. Yeah, so let's go into that and let's get to work. Yeah, so the first thing we'll do is to locate our features folder, right, and then we'll jump into home screen. So this is our home screen, right? This is our home screen. Let me collapse the init. We've discussed all this. Yeah, so this is our home screen. This is the shimmer effect that we show when the app is loading. If I rerun the app and you see this shimmer effect, yeah, this is it. And then this is the actual home screen that I'm showing here. This is the actual home screen that I'm showing here, which has the bottom navigation and then the app bar. Right, that is the actual home screen. So what we will be doing is to now show the actual home screen and then build this particular section of the app. Alright, so we missed episode 4. Episode 4 was supposed to be yesterday, but I didn't show up because I wasn't feeling so good. So we are gonna do episode 4 and then maybe 50% of episode 5 before we move on. Okay. Yeah, so guys, today is gonna be a little bit, we might end up doing the 2 hours today, and I think that should work for everybody. So we will have these pages. If you check our body, we have body, and then we have center, and then in center we have these pages. As you can see, we have these pages, we have home, we have this. All these are widgets, and I already told you what widgets are. Okay, so all these are widgets, and then we are going to create an actual widget for home page. Okay, so when we come here to features and we have home screen, and the home screen we have this as home screen main, right? So the first thing we are going to create is to create home page. Now I'm thinking something. If we are going to use home page, then that means would have a lot of screens named home. Alright, so maybe we have to create landing page instead of calling it home page, right? So this becomes our landing page, and then this becomes the scan and pay page, and like that. Alright, so that's how we'll be doing it. So let's first create our widgets. We have holding home screen, and then we'll have landing screen or landing page. I want us to keep everything as screen, right? So I don't know if I should say landing screen or landing page. Guys, should we say landing page or landing screen? Because I want to have everything as screen. But yeah, virus, what's up? Virus, what's up? So let's say landing page or landing screen, because I want to have everything as screen. I know it sounds weird, but let's have everything as screen. Yeah, so inside landing screen we'll create main, right? So I think we can create landing screen main, right? So this is like the actual screen, right? Or when it comes to the landing screen, so landing screen main. Alright, so let's close this, and then as usual we'll call our scaffold widget, and then in the body we are going to, in the body, virus, what's up, where are you watching from? We are gonna have a text, and then that text we'll call it landing screen. So when we come to home screen, we want to replace our landing screen with this, right? So we're going to replace this like landing screen, and it will no more be the home screen. Yeah, so now we have our landing screen main, then we can go ahead and build inside the screen. So if we rerun, we are going to have our shimmer load for some time, and then we have the landing screen. Guys, if you are watching, we are doing this. We are learning mobile applications development and software engineering. And if you are interested in learning those things, don't forget to check out the YouTube channel and also join the WhatsApp channel so that we can learn together, right? I teach all the time, and if you are interested in learning, just check out the channels and be part. Right, so guys, where were we? Yeah, so now we move here. We are going to build this. We'll build a salutation badge, and then we'll build this very nice looking card, right? So let's build that. So let's go there. So looking at this thing, as you can see, we have a column, all right, and then we have a column. That column has the salutation, it has the card that has this particular join rewards, blah blah blah, and then the next thing is the elements on the screen, right? So we are going to do that. We are going to do that right now. So we will come here, and then we can see that this elements, right, these elements are scrollable. So if we go down here, you can see that the elements are scrollable. As you can see, they are scrollable elements. So that means we are going to use SingleChildScrollView to make sure that the elements that are on the screen are scrollable. You get me? So we will do this. We'll call safe area. I already told you what safe area widget is. Safe area widget just draws the elements below the app bar. Alright, yeah, so we are going to call the safe. I'm from Lesotho. Your content is very good, my brother. Thanking you for this lesson. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that compliment. Thompson, thanks for the gift. And don't forget to check out the YouTube channel and be part of us. MK Thompson, thanks very much for the gifts. Yeah, so we are gonna have single child scroll view because we want our elements to be scrollable. Yeah, so we'll use the single child scroll view, and then inside of that we would have a child, and then we have column. I already told you what column does, so you should check it out as well. What app or sites are you using? Yeah, I'm using Android Studio for the app development. All right, so I'm using Android Studio for the app development, and then I'm building the app using Flutter. So you should also check that out. I'm building the app using Flutter, and I'm using Android Studio for the app development. If you want to see how we started with everything, don't forget to check out the YouTube channel, Code with Secho, and you'll have access to everything. If you want to learn how to build too, you can check out the WhatsApp channel, join the channel, and anytime we come on live, I'll inform you and let you know of whatever is going on. Thanks very much for the gift, guys. Yeah, so let's jump into development. So we are going to build this, which is the good morning, and then log in and get free tea. All right, so as you already know, we are going to use text. Yeah, we are going to use text for the good morning. And what I want us to do is to build widgets that we can reuse across every section of the app. Yeah, before I forget, I already told you that in episode 3, I told you guys that we are going to build a global class that we'll be using to hold colors, as we've built for the text, right? The assets. I told you we are going to create a class for colors as well. So let's create that class before we jump into development. So let's go in here. When you go to the core folder or the core directory, and you go inside the constant directory, you create a new class, right, which is called app colors. So in this particular section, we are going to have all the app colors, or the colors that we use across the app. It is best to do it this way so that when you are building and in the future you want to change a color that runs across every section of the app, what extension are you using for the phone review? Yeah, so for the phone emulator, it comes with Android Studio. So it's an Android Studio emulator, and when you are using Android Studio, you don't have to install any extension. You only have to go into this section, device manager, and then you create a virtual device from there, like this. Yeah. So guys, I was talking about why it's good to have a lot of to have classes that holds your colors, all right, and then your assets and all that, the stuff that you use across every section of the app, right? So I'm saying that, or I was saying that it's important to do it that way, because if you don't and you want to change colors in the future, you might end up having to do a lot of work. Meaning, if you have your colors on 20 different screens. That means when you're about to change color, you have to change it on those 20 different screens. But if you have it on a single in a single class, you only jump into that class and you change the color. Yeah. Smart search. Hello. So we are gonna have a static class, all right, and then I think we're gonna have static string, and then we'll call it base color, right? So this base color, I wish I can stay longer here, but times. All right, Donald. Okay, I understand you. Then you'd have to check out the YouTube channel, right? So that every session, all the sessions that we have, would be there for you to revisit when you're up. It's unfortunate of the we have different time zones, but don't forget to check out the YouTube channel. All right. Yeah, thank you. So guys, this is how we are gonna have our colors. We are gonna have a static color, and then we'll call this color class. Right, this is our base color, so we are going to do this, and then we'll assign the base color to it. So how do you identify your base color in your software or your design? Normally you can ask the UI dev to tell you, or the UI dev has to kind of describe all the colors, right, the components in the design and all that. The UI designer have to do that, but if he or she haven't handled that, then you have to identify it yourself, right? So you have to identify the colors yourself and tell what is a base color and all that. So these are the colors that we have across the app. As you can see, this is a professional UI design, so we have all the colors across the app, right? So all we have to do is that we go in there and then create these colors in the classes, so that when it's time and we want to use it, we can just go in there and then reuse it. All right. Yeah. If you are new to the channel, if you are watching on TikTok and you are interested in learning mobile applications development, don't forget to check out the YouTube channel, Code Researcher. That is where you have access to all the premium contents and all the contents that we've discussed so far. Yeah. And you also join the WhatsApp channel for exclusive resources and updates concerning the session or the class. So we are going to create all these colors right now. We will start from the espresso brown, right? So if you go in there, we will call espresso brown. We will call this color, sorry, I wrote X. Yeah, so we'll call this color, and then we're gonna copy the code, right? This is a good practice. I already told you why it is very good to do it this way. Just let me copy my color in peace. I'm not looking for the font, guy. I'm looking for the color. Stop stressing me. Okay. Let's just click on this, and then we'll have access to the color. Yeah, so now when we come here, we'll replace this as the color code for espresso brown. So what we have to do is to copy and paste this for our next color. So we have the creamy latte. Is it latte or latte, whatever you call it? Yeah, so we have our creamy latte, and then the code for that is this. As you can see, right, we are making sure that we have our colors all in one class, so that we can call them or reuse them anytime we want, right? And this is a very good practice, because if you don't, you end up creating multiple instances of the same color, which is not good, because in the future, when you want to, let me just say it's not scalable, because in the future, when you want to change the base color in your app, you might end up doing more than you even did when you were developing the app, right? So this is a roasted caramel. So this color is roasted caramel. That's why you always have to make sure that you force your UI dev to you advise your UI dev to give you the color codes and everything when developing, right? Because if they don't do this, you will end up struggling at the end of the day. So they have to give you the color code, their names, and wherever they are using it, they have to put it on there or in there so that you can use it, and then it will make your life better as a software developer. Because yeah, their job is to make sure the UI is okay. Your job is to make sure they provide whatever you need to make your work good for you. So what is this? We have black. This is not the actual black that I know, guys. This is not the actual black that I know, but let's see. Let me see. This is not the actual black, but yeah, let's use this as our black. And then let's go here. And then this one, it says fairly white. Some colors are kind of guys, who even came up with all those colors? Because some of the names are very new to me, but yeah. Guys, this work is stressful, but yeah, it will help you at the end of the day. If you don't do it now, you would have to do it in the future. And if you are doing it in the future, I bet you it's gonna take you more than it will take you to do now. So let's just get it done and then move to our design, right? You know very well that you are going to use what is the best APN for fast internet. Use WAP. If you're in Ghana, use WAP, and you should pray your phone supports the WAP APN. So if you're in Ghana, use WAP. So Midnight Caramel. Midnight Caramel. Midnight Caramel. Hey guys, have I done the black coffee already? I have dark roast. Oh, I think I missed the black coffee. I missed the black coffee, guys. Yeah, I already told you, use WAP. If you need a faster APN, if you need an APN for faster internet, just use WAP. That's what I've been using since, and it's good for me, so hopefully it should work for you too. Black coffee. Can you give me the step by step? That would be very long. Looking at the fact that I'm even live right now will make it very long. Yeah, but when you go to your app settings, when you go to your network settings and you locate APNs, you go to your network settings and then you locate APN. I think forget the full form for it. Moonlight Mint. Yeah, the full form is I think I can't remember the full form, but yeah, when you go on there and you see APN or access point names, yeah, access point names, yeah, you go into access point names and then you select the one that you want to change. Normally, if you are using MTN in Ghana, you have a default one named MTN. So you click on that one, and then when you go to the settings, you see the option to change it from the default one to the one you want to set, which is WAP. So by default, MTN is on internet. So when you go there, you can just you are using Telecel. Yeah, you can use it for it as well. You can use it for Telecel as well. Just hope that your phone supports the WAP APN. And sometimes when you change to WAP, you have to move to this one. Yeah, guys, we are done with the color. When you move to WAP, you have to do this. Move to flight mode several times. You have to move to flight mode several times. Sometimes you go in flight mode and reset the phone before you can do that. All right, guys. Yeah, you are welcome. So guys, we are done with the colors. We've set all the colors, and don't forget to check out the channel Code with Secho. I'm about to go in here and then we continue with the development. Guys, I told you for the whole of last week I haven't been feeling so well. Hopefully today I am feeling a little bit better. So yeah, we can do a little bit of some hour and a few minutes before we go off. Yeah, so if we go back into our UI, we should now have this, right? So now looking at the colors that we had, our black was supposed to be the black we have in the app, not the actual black that I set. So we'll just be building. When we get to a point where we already used that, then we'll set it up. So let's do good morning, log in and get free tea. So looking at this, the background of this particular, we are going to set the background of this screen, right? The background of this scaffold is going to be this color, and the color as we set here as is it the roasted caramel or the creamy latte? Let's check the one that it is. Oh, so that's a fruity white. Really okay. So when we come to the landing screen and we set the background image of the scaffold, we will now call app colors. Now we have all our colors here, right? So we can just call app colors and we call the color, and when we refresh, we should have our colors looking like this, as you can see. Yeah, so now we have our colors looking like this, and then the next thing we do is to jump into development. We have to build this and this. So we start with a column. We already have our column, and then we have our text. Okay, this text is going to be the one that we will use for the salutation. So we have good morning, and below good morning we have login and get free tea. So let's do that. Right, since we are in evening, later we will change this to be time based, which means depending on the time, then we will greet you as such. So we'll have good evening, tuned in from KA. Yeah, guys, thank you guys. We have people watching from Kenya. I'm very glad having you guys on board. It's great to have you guys all from a different country. Don't forget to check out the channel, and don't forget to drop the subscription. Also join the WhatsApp channel for updates, and keep in touch. Yeah, so we are gonna do our good evening, and then if we inspect this font, we are gonna have something like this is, what type of font is this? Why don't you give me the details? I don't want to go guessing whatever. Yeah, so there's a bold font which are 20px. So yeah, we are going to set the style of the font. All right, so we'll call text style, and then we'll set the font size to 24.0. All right, we'll set the font size to 24. So if we rerun, it looks like this, and then we'll set the font weight to bold. Okay, yeah, so now we have this and it's looking good. Okay, so now what we can do, the next thing we can do is to, when I scroll to the screen here, so we have all these elements, Right, we have all these elements. Okay, so the next thing we can do is to make sure that our elements are not close to the edge as it is in the design. So if you inspect the design, our elements are not very close to the edge of the screen like how we have in the app, right? So we are going to make sure that every element that come on the screen are not very close to the edge of the screen. Now before we do that, I have a way that I wanted us to do it, or that I want us to do it. So let's inspect the app and make sure that if we do it, it's not gonna affect other section. It's almost 1 a.m. here. I've subscribed, bro. I'll definitely rewatch this and tune in. All right, bro. Thank you very much. Don't forget to check out the previous episodes as well. Yeah. So you can take a sleep tomorrow. You check it out. 1 a.m. It's actually 9 p.m. here. That's crazy. Yeah, so guys, we are going to make sure that our elements are not so close to the edges as we have here. So what we'll do is that inside of the body of the screen, right? Inside of the body of this screen, we are going to wrap the column, either the column or SingleChildScrollView. We are going to run the SingleChildScrollView in a padding. And then this pattern we'll call symmetric, and then change the horizontal alignment to 16.0, right, to 16.0. Then that should put the elements away from the screen, right? As you can see, yeah, where is the home? Yeah, so now as you can see, our elements are not close to the edge of the screen again. Now what we have to also do is that the vertical alignment is 24.0 so that the elements will be separated away from this. Yeah, so now you can see we have our good evening, and over here we have our good morning. Again, if you are watching on YouTube or if you are watching on TikTok and you want to be part of this session, you want to learn how to build apps, you want to learn how to develop mobile applications, don't forget to check out the YouTube channel. All right, we come live every day and we learn how to build mobile apps. And also don't forget to join the WhatsApp channel for updates. Yeah, so now we have this good morning, log in and get free free tea. Okay, so we have our text saying good morning, log in and get free tea. All we have to do is to create another text again. All right, we'll create another text and then we'll say log in and get free, then we put the T icon, right? So we can say log in and get free, and then the T icon, the T icon, let's search coffee. Yeah, okay, so now if we rerun the app, we should have it looking like this. Yeah, as you can see, it's already looking like what we have here. Yeah, so what we have to do is to make sure we also increase the size of the text. So we'll call our style, and then we'll call text style. Yeah, and then we'll do font size, so that will be 24.0, and then when we rerun, it should look like this. Right, then the next thing we can do is to make sure that our text and everything is aligned to the start of the screen. All right, so you come to the column, which is the parent of these two items. You come here and then you set the cross axis to start. Cross axis is the horizontal alignment when you are on a column. Hey, did I say column? A column layout, right? Yes. Yeah, this is 20 and this is also 20. The only difference is that this is light, yeah, and this is bold, as you can see here. Yeah, as you can see here. So now you can see we have the good morning, log in and get free tea, and we also have good evening, log in and get free tea. Yeah, guys, as you can see, we are almost up there. We are almost to the end of the design. I hope you can see how I'm taking every design step by step, brick by brick, and everything that we are building here, we have a we can actually trace it, and we can actually trace them out, right? So with the way we are building right now, if you pick a particular design, it's easy for you to trace it out to where you created it and how you ended up with that particular design, right? And that is the best thing of building with me. I take you through the steps. I make sure you understand whatever I do on the screen. Yeah, so I repeat, if you are interested in learning or joining us, don't forget to check out the YouTube channel, Code with Secho, and have access to all this that we are doing. This is the episode 4 of the Flutter or mobile developer journey. So if you are interested and you want to learn, don't forget to check out the rest of the sessions on the YouTube channel. Yeah, so now we are going to do the beautiful part of the app, which is this particular screen. It's very nice. I really like it. It looks good. We are going to develop it right now. So get ready to enjoy something beautiful. Yeah, so looking at this design, right, before you build, you have to analyze the design and see how you are going to do it, right? So when you check this design, we have a little shadow down here, right? That shadow in Flutter, it's called an elevation, right? The shadow down there, it's called an elevation. And if you are watching, uh, before you build, you have to make sure that, okay, for this particular element that I'm about to build, do we have an existing widget that I can use to do this, or I should build my own widget? All right, those are the questions that you ask yourself, because Flutter comes with existing widgets, which means that most of the times you don't have to build widgets yourself. And also it comes with widgets that are not already in there, which means you have to build them yourself. So you have to ask yourself those questions before you even jump into development. Yeah, so as we are seeing here, this is a card, and card comes with an elevation and all that. So we can just move on and then use a card. This, we know it's a column, this is a row, these two here are containers. Yeah, so we can jump into it. Yeah, so after this two children, we have this text, and then we have this text, and then the parent is this column. So what we can do is that since we need another element in the column, it will be nice to separate these two texts, right, from this particular element, right? So when you come to the landing page, what we do most, or what you must do best and practice all the time, is creating widgets. All right, widgets that you use across your screen, or you use across a particular screen. You should make sure that you have them in a particular class that you can call over and over again, right? So in the screen here, we have this greetings, and this is the salutation. All right, this is the salutation. So we can come in here, create a folder, a directory called widgets, and then we'll create salutation. We'll call this a salutation widgets. We'll call this salutation widgets. And then in here we can return a stateless widget and call it salutation widget. And then down here we are just going to replace it with what we have here. So you copy this widget. All right, you copy this widget and then you return it here. You return it here, which is the salutation widget. So when you come here, you create your column, you call your widget, you call your children, right? When you call the children, all you have to do is to call your salutation widget, which is this. Now this is the main class. The reason why I'm using the salutation widget is that we want to keep it less occupied. We want to make sure that the elements in here are not so much, and we are only keeping them basic. I'm using basic, I don't know. Yeah, it's just trying to make sure that this main page is not occupied with a lot of stuff. That is what we are trying to do. Yeah, so we have the salutation widget, and then the next thing that we do on the home screen is to build this card, right? Is to build this card. So let's build a card, and then we'll come back and also put it inside of a widget. Yeah, so guys, don't forget to drop a like, don't forget to drop a follow, and if you want to learn more of this, don't forget to check out the YouTube channel Code with Secho. So yeah, we are going to have a card. We are going to have a card like this, and then we'll create a child, right? And then that child is going to be column. The first column will have this container, the second one will have this container. So that's what we will do. So the first child will be column, and then column will have children, and then children one will have this container. All right, let's do the height. Let's explain this and the file structure and how we link it. Explain to us the Flutter project and the yeah. So infinity, we have this is the episode 4 of the whole project, right? This is the episode 4 of the project, and with the file structure and all that, I've explained it multiple times in the previous episodes. I'll talk about it right now, but you should also check out the previous episodes on YouTube. The channel name is Code with Secho, so you should check it out and then understand everything from there. Yeah, so yeah, explain to us the Flutter project. Yeah, so the project is this. It's a coffee project. We are learning mobile applications development, and we are using a coffee ordering project. This is a project for a coffee shop. All right, and we are just building a mobile app for it, and that's all it's about. In building the app, we are using the opportunity to learn about widgets and everything that we're supposed to learn in Flutter. So that's what we are doing. From episode 1 we did installation, episode 2 we started building, episode 3 we continue, and this is the episode 4, and everything has been handled step by step with clear and understandable explanations, right? So you should check out the YouTube channel Code with Secho and start from episode 1, and I promise you're gonna have a clear understanding of everything. Yeah, and also don't forget to drop a follow and a subscription when you reach there. We also have a YouTube channel where we discuss all those things, so you can also join the channel. You'll find the channel in the video description on YouTube. Yeah, so guys, back to the build. So we are going to pick these containers. We are going to build these containers step by step, right? So this one says the size is 200, and then this one says the size is what? What's the size of the white one? I don't know, let's say 100. Right, so let's give this one 180. Right, let's just assume that's the size, right? And then let's give it a width. The width is gonna be double dot infinity, right? Double dot infinity is saying that the width increases and takes up the remaining space on the horizontal axis of the screen. So that's what the double dot infinity is doing. Yeah, and then for the color, we are going to use this green, right? We are going to use this green color, which is the 7C. I think I would have to use this for some time before the colors will. So yeah, so that's like the fresh mint. Okay, so we'll be using the fresh mint color. Yeah, so when we specify color, we are going to specify app colors dot fresh mint. Yeah, so let's run this, and this is what we are gonna have. Can you see that? Yeah, now what you can see is that after we added this, the element shifted to center. So what you have to do is to go to the main axis, the main parent, which is the cross-axis elements, and then place the elements to the start. So that's what you do, and then the elements will now be in the start. Now when you come here, you can see that there's a little spacing between this and this, right? So what you are going to do is to go down here in between the salutation and the block. You go down here and send constant sized box, right? Size box, and then you set height, and then the height is since it's not specified on the UI, we can do this, or you give the height until the one that looks okay, until you get the one that looks okay, right? So that's what you are doing. Mix Swahili, bro. I don't speak Swahili. If you need this one, if you need to do this to kind of translate, auto translation and all that, then you should check out the YouTube channel, and hopefully you should be able to translate it from there, because I speak only English. And when are you starting with Python? Okay, for Python, when we are done with Flutter, but when we are done with Flutter, then we'll see what we'll do next. But I don't think we'll be starting with Python now. Yeah, because it's going to be Flutter mobile app development over and over again. Yeah, but hopefully a time will come where we'll have to do Python. Yeah, so you can check this, and then we have our elements like this. So that is the first container, and then we create our second container. Yeah, so let's create our second container, and then for the height we are going to do 120. Okay, and then for the colors, I think the color is white. Yeah, I think the color is white. So for the colors, we are just going to do white, and that is that. Yeah, so now when we run, we should have it looking like this. As you can see, our elements are already looking so good, and we don't have to do much. So guys, if you want to learn what we are doing, you want to learn the mobile applications development, don't forget to check out the YouTube channel. Right, don't forget to check out the YouTube channel, because that is where we do the mobile app development. You can have all the episodes in there, and also you don't forget to join the WhatsApp channel when you get to don't forget to check out the WhatsApp channel when you get to the YouTube channel as well. So drop a follow, and then drop a subscription on the YouTube if you are interested in learning mobile applications development. Yeah, so guys, we have our box looking like this, the card, right? The next thing we have to do is to make sure the edges of the card, we have to make sure it's rounded as we have here. Guys, thank you very much for the share. Thank you very much for sharing, and thank you very much for joining as well. So we have to make sure we do the edges of the card, right? We have to make sure we do that. So that's what we are going to do right now. So let's go down there, and then with this card, as you can see, we have a shape property for the card. But one thing that will happen is that if we're going to use shape property for this card, it's not going to affect this, right? Guys, thanks very much for the gifts and all. Thanks very much, I really appreciate it. So because the shape for this card is not going to affect this, I think I have to do it for us to confirm whether it will affect it or not. So when you take the shape of the card and you check the rounded rectangular border, and then you change the border radius to a circular radius of let's say 16.0. Let's rerun and see. As you can see, the edges of the card is supposed to be rounded, right? But it's not happening, which means we need another widget to kind of bend the edges or to round the edges of this card, right? So what we are going to use is to wrap this card in a special widget called clip rect, right? So this is the widget that we are going to use to bend or round the edges of this card, right? So it has a value or a property called border radius, and then we are going to give it a circular border radius. And if we should do the 16.0, now you can see it visible. So is it running, guys? Oh, it's not picking, guys. We are doomed. Yeah, so clip our rect is supposed to round the edges. Yeah, so you can see the edges are being rounded, but something else is happening behind the scene. So the edges are being rounded, but it's not so smooth as it's supposed to be. The edges are not so smooth as they are supposed to be, and also there's some kind of elevation showing behind the card and all that. I don't want us to do well, I have 99%. I don't want us to do it like how I'm thinking or how I want us to do it, right? I don't want us to do it like that, but with how things are going, I think we would have to do it that way. Although that's not a good way of doing it, but I just feel like we would have to do it that way. With that particular approach, it means we would have to tackle, it means we would have to change the radius of the cards one by one, right? We would have to do it individually, which means if we come to this card, right, if we pick this particular card, we are supposed to do this. So we will do the creation, and then we'll pick box decoration, and then we'll drop the color in here. All right, you can use color outside of box decoration. If you are using color outside of box decoration, you will be given an error. So let me do that for you to see. So you'll have an error if you try to use color outside of the box decoration. Guys, don't forget to check out the YouTube channel if you are interested in learning mobile applications development or software engineering. Don't forget to check out the YouTube channel, and don't forget to drop a follow as well. All right, let's go back to business. So yeah, I was saying that don't use colors outside of box decoration, else you have an error. Right, so you can only use colors. As soon as you introduce box decoration, colors automatically goes into that box decoration. All right, so now we have this. So since our elements are giving us issues, right, since the clip right is not working on the card, then what we have to do is to go in here, and then we'll specify border radius. All right, and then when we specify border radius, we will specify border radius dot only. So that means we are going to set the top left corner radius and then the top right corner radius, right? So if we start with top left radius, all right, so we are going to do a circular radius, and then let's give it 16.0, and let's see how it will look like. So this is how the top left corner radius will look if we are doing it for only the green container. Right, so if we should do same thing for top right, right, if we should do same thing for top right, then we should have both corners rounded. Yeah, as you can see, both corners are now rounded. And when we look at our design uses 8.0 and not 16. So we can just come down here and then change this from 16.0 to 8. Alright, and then we should have something like this. Yeah, so when we want to do that, we have to do same thing for the second container. We would have to do same thing for the second container to have that particular rounded border effect. Right, there is a better way of doing this, but since the two ways don't want us to go there, then we would just resort to this. Alright, so let's do the bottom right, and then when we drop it, we should now have something like this. And then on the card, we are going to drop elevation. If we make it 8, that will be the elevation for us, but since that's too much, we can make it 4. And then we are going to have an elevation like this. As you can see, we are going to have an elevation like we have here. Yeah, now you can see we already into getting this design as it should be, as you can see. Yeah, so now since we've achieved this two, all we have to do is to make sure that we add the elements as they are in here, right? We add these few elements, and then that should be it. And then that should be it for the salutation card. Yeah, so we have this. The first thing we do is to go in the place. How did you preview that in the? I'm just assuming you are using VS Code. Yeah, Chef, I am using Android Studio. I'm using Android Studio for the development. So I have Android Studio comes with the emulator extension where you can install emulators and then run or test your apps on them. So that is what I'm using. In episode 1, we've actually discussed all this. Episode 1, where we did the installation and all that, we've discussed how you can install Android Studio and then use it in there. So if you want to check it out, you can check out the YouTube channel with the name Code Researcher, and check out the episode 1 of this video, and then you have access to it. Yeah, this is the Flutter crash course, and we are in episode 4. So yeah, so let's go in here and then let's do all these things. So as you can see, we have this text. There are 20 and the size is medium, and yeah, so that's what we are doing. So the next thing we can also do, just as we created the app colors, right, is to create a shared directory where we'll have widgets that we use across the app over time, right? So we can create this directory called shared. All right, you create it from the lib, which is the root folder of the lib. So if we close this, you click on lib, new directory, and then you call it shared. So inside of the shared folder, this is where you are going to create all the items that you use across every section of the app, right? So example, as you can see, we are using the text widget multiple times, and this particular text widget has a size of 20. So we don't have to create text again and again and again and again. We can just create a text widget called regular. Right, we can just create a text widget called regular, and then we will use that particular widget over and over again. So we will create the widgets according to the font variations, right? So we have a widget for bold fonts, and then we'll have a widget for medium fonts, and then we'll have a widget for regular fonts. So that's how we do it. So when you come here and then you create this particular class, so let's create a file and then let's call it app texts, or should it be app texts, right? Yeah. So when we create an app text, we can either create a class. Should we create a class called app texts? And then in here we'll create static functions that return the text and stuff like that. So let's create this one. Let's create static regular. Let's return a text. All right, let's return text and call it regular. So let's create this app text or regular. So we are gonna have this. So we will return text. We'll return text, and then we'll do some few configurations in this text, right? So when it comes to the data, so this is where we take arguments for this particular regular text. So we are gonna have required string, and then we can call it text. So in here we supply the text, which is the required string, and then for the style we are gonna have text style. We are gonna have text style, and then we'll set the font size to 20. Alright, we'll set the font size to 20, and then the font weight. This is regular, right? So we'll confirm the regular font weight, and that should be regular font weight should be 500, right? Or that should be normal. So regular font weight should be normal, and then let me see, this one is medium. Okay, yeah, so regular font weight is normal. So that's for our regular text. We will create another one which is for our medium text, right? So if we call our medium text, that one, the font weight is going to be a little bit above regular. So we are going to have W600. So that's like a medium. And then we are going to create another one which will be our bold. Right, so for our bold text, the font weight is going to be bold. Yeah, so now we'll have that. And then the next thing is for all of them we can set colors. All right, if you check the screen, the colors can change, so we have to be able to also take a color argument where we either supply a color or we use a default one. So in receiving a color widget, we can do something like text color, right? So we'll do this, and then we'll call color. We'll do this, and then we'll call color. So now when we come here and we want to set the color, we'll call color and do this. If color is null, then use appcolors.black. Yeah, so we are using this, the question mark in front of color, to assume that color can be null. All right, when we talk about null, it means the user might decide not to assign color to this particular text, so color can be null. So when we come here and we want to use it, this double question mark is saying that if the color here is null, or if the value of this particular color is null, then use this. Else, if the value is not null, then we will use the one that we sent in there. Yeah, so we are going to do similar thing for the rest of them, because all of them can take colors, right? So we are going to, yeah, this is Flutter. Don't forget to check out the previous episodes on Code Researcher. We are live on YouTube, so if you want to have a better view of what we are doing on the YouTube, we are streaming the full screen and the view is beautiful. So if you want to have a better view compared to what we have here, you can go on YouTube and search Code Researcher and have access to all the sessions. Yeah, so in here we are going to have color, and then we'll have appcolors.black. Yeah, so now we can use our text on different sections of the screen wherever we want to use it, and there will be no issue with it. Yeah, so let's move from here, and then let's go to the landing main. Yeah, so that is what the double question mark means. The double question mark is saying that if the value is null, then use the other elements. So over here it is saying that if color is null, then use black. That is what the double question mark means. Yeah. So yeah, so guys, we are back on here. Now inside of this screen we are going to be using, so let's go back to the salutation card and replace this text. This is Flutter, this is that. So let's come back here and replace this text with app text dot bold. So now when we call bold, we will only have to supply this particular text to it, to the text argument, right? We only have to supply this argument, then we are done. So when we rerun, we should see our schema. What is the name of this app, please? Yeah, so this is a coffee app. It's an app used for ordering coffee. This is the app and this is what it is doing. It is an app used for ordering coffee. We are learning how to we are learning mobile application development. So this session is just to teach people how to build mobile apps, and in doing that, yeah, for my backend I normally use Spring Boot, which is Java. Yeah, so guys, this is the bold. It seems like the bold looks small. Yeah, the bold looks small. Yeah, so I'm studying .NET currently. What would you say is better? .NET. Yeah, .NET is good, and most companies, if you are studying for employment, I think most companies are now jumping for .NET developers. So .NET is good. It's not bad, but I always say that there's no bad language. It's only how you use it that determines whether it's bad or not. So yeah, .NET is very good. You can move ahead with it, and just make sure you master it, so that when it's time for accountability, you'll be able to just put in the work and then yeah, save yourself. Yeah, so if you want to learn the mobile app, currently what I'm teaching is mobile development using Flutter. So if you want to learn, don't forget to check out the YouTube channel. The name is Code Researcher. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the name is Code Researcher. You can learn from there. If you this is the episode 4 of our development phase. We started last week, so this is the episode 4. And if you want to learn the mobile app development, you should check out the YouTube channel. All right, the name is Code Researcher. We have all the episodes there. We also have the WhatsApp channel where you can learn, where you have access to updates, and then you have access to resources that I share in there. So yeah, it's good to have you on board, my brother. So guys, looking at this, right, I came to the salutation and then I used the bold text. But looking at this, it seems that the 20 in here, it's not the 20 that I'm seeing here, because it seems the 20 for this particular regular, it's bigger than the 20 that I'm using there. So our 20s has to be 24 in a way, because all of them look very small when we use them on the app. But I think we can just go with the 20 since that's what the app says. Yeah, so UI says 20, so we go with 20, right? There's no two ways about it. So yeah, in here we are going to replace our text with this as well. You don't fight the UI. Yeah, I need a yeah, so this is what the UI says. Now we have our text, and in there, even what app did you use for the design? Yeah, so this design is on Figma. This design is on Figma, and you can find a link to the design in the live. All right, we are live on YouTube, so in the description of the live you can find the link to this particular design. And this design was made by one professional designer. I'm still struggling to get his name. Yeah, so this is Figma, and this is where you find the designs. Yeah, so don't forget to check out the YouTube channel and learn how to build mobile apps. You are not too late, because this is just the 4th episode. So even if you should take the whole of tomorrow, you can still catch up with us. Yeah. So we now have this too. The funny thing is, even with this text that we have here, we have to create another class to handle all these labels, right? So good evening, log in and get free tea, all this, we have to create another class to handle all these labels. Guys, when you are doing a clean coding or when you are trying to keep your code very clean, it's very difficult sometimes, but it's actually the best way to build, and so we would have to do that. So when you go to core, we have app assets, we have app colors. The next thing is to create app strings. All right, so this is where you have all the strings, the local strings that you have in the app. This is where you keep all of them. All right, why would you want to keep all your strings in here? One example is maybe if you want to do language translation later, if you want to do some sort of string manipulation later in the app, you don't want to be moving from screen to screen to pick those strings. You just want to do it from one particular class, and then it will affect all other strings across the app. So that is why it's good to also have the string class where you keep all your string data. Yeah, so when you come here, I'm going to create a static string. And then over here we have to name this particular string, right? So let's say you can actually give it the same name. All right, so you can say login for free tea. You can actually give it the same name, right, to the string, and all you have to do is to cut this and then you drop it here, and then you drop it here. No, that's a bad way of putting use interf. Yeah, that's why I am saying when you want to do it later, right? When you want to do it later, so in Flutter, you have the package, and you can use that for the conversion and all that, right? Yeah. But we are just keeping our string in one class, and then if you want to do it later, you do it later. Yeah, but we can also follow your path, and then we'll do it once and for all. So important library is define the international with default local and method for accessing most of the internationalization mechanism. This library also defines date format, number format, and BD formatter classes. Yeah. So when we go here, the package has a single current local called default local operation. We use that local unless told to otherwise. So international default local. Okay. System local, then run this test of my program, blah blah blah, to override the current, blah 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 blah. Let's go to this is for French. Let's go to Arabic. Let's go to which one is this? España. Let's go to English. Yeah, so greetings message is international message, hello message, name, greeting message, arguments, name, desk greet user, all this. Yeah, so all this we would hopefully when we are done with the app, yeah, so hopefully when we are done with the basics and stuff, then we can bring out all this one. Yeah, thank you very much for pointing it out here. Hi. Yeah, so thank you very much for pointing it out. Official Pro Russian Z. Bro. Yeah, so we are just building this app, a coffee shop app, a coffee app for a shop. We are learning the basics of Flutter development. And in learning that, we are using app creation, this particular app. We are building it from step to step in order to learn about widgets and how to use them in Flutter and all that. So that is what we are doing. Yeah, so when we come here, you can just call the string that you defined. What's the app name? Yeah, so the app name is actually, let me see, coffee shop. That's the name of the app. Yeah, the UI designer named it coffee shop. So we are using coffee shop as the app name. Yeah, coffee shop app. So in here you call app strings dot login for free tea. You call your string, and then in here as well you can call this salutation, because it's the string that you use for greeting your user, so you can call it salutation. I like it when we have people in the comment section and then they are given like recommendations and all that. I really love it when we have people in the comment section that are contributing to the whole stream. Thank you guys, I really appreciate it. Yeah, so salutation. Yeah, so now we have all our strings, and then you don't have to kind of call a particular a local string in the app just like that anymore. Yeah, so one thing about this too again is that when you want to change this later, assuming you use this particular string across multiple sections of the app and you want to change it later, guy, what are you doing? Algorithm to create what? Algorithm to create what exactly? Yeah, this is Flutter. Algorithm to create the app. I'm fucking confused with the question algorithm to create the app. Are you asking like maybe you should come again, because I know algorithms, but algorithms to develop the UI, I actually don't get it. Yeah. Yeah, so Flutter is an SDK for building mobile apps. Flutter is an SDK for building mobile apps, and then Figma is a platform, all right, a UI UX development platform developed by Google, where you can just go in there and then create a UI UX for a team or for yourself or whatever. So Figma is a design board, a board for designing your app UI, and then Flutter is an SDK for building mobile apps, desktop apps, Mac OS apps, Linux apps, web apps, and all that. And the funny thing is, all these are being managed by Google. Yeah, so currently we are using MVVM. Even there, I haven't even started making full use of them yet, because currently we are only building views, no models and no view models. So yeah, I haven't even moved to creating that yet. But if you're asking how we are going to end up with it, yeah, Flutter is very easy to learn. Flutter is very easy to learn. Check out the channel, Code with Secho, and you would understand how easy it is to learn Flutter. Yeah, and MVVM is also easy to understand compared to clean code. If I want to use MVVM for the basics so that everybody will get the whole flow before I move into the other ones. Yeah, we are using Android Studio. Yeah, GetX, right? Normally people want to beat me for using GetX, so I'm thinking maybe I'll start with provider with them. Maybe I'll start with provider for them and all that. Guys, if you want to have a better view, all right, if you want to have a better view of what we are doing, check out the YouTube channel. And when you reach there, don't forget to GetX. I think GetX is also easy for beginners, so yeah, I think I would have MVVM goes well with GetX, so I will use GetX so that beginners will understand very clearly before maybe we'll move to provider or block or something like that. Yeah, so guys, don't forget to check out the YouTube channel. The name is Code with Secho, and don't forget to drop that follow as well. Yeah, And when you get on the channel, don't forget to subscribe and also join the WhatsApp channel, the official WhatsApp channel where I share. You're not talking about Get X, then which one are you talking about? Do we have Get It? Get It, really? No. Do we have Get It? Get It in Flutter. Get It. Is it for... Okay, this is my first time hearing Get It. I thought you are talking about state management. Wow, this is my first time hearing of Get It. Okay. Is it also for state management? I haven't heard of Get It, seriously. For dependency injection, okay. I haven't tried it before. Even this is my first time hearing of it. Get It. Okay, I'll take a good look at it, and then hopefully maybe we'll make use of it in here. Yeah, so guys, Get It. Let me pin this tab so that I can use it, so I can read on it, and then we'll use it later. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, so let's go in here as well. Yeah, so let's build this. So inside of the box, let's create a child and let's create a column. Alright, and then inside of each column we are going to create our text. So this is medium text, which is going to be this heading, right? So let me copy the heading, and then let's come to children, and then let's call our app text, and then let's call medium. Guys, I haven't heard of the package Get It before, but I just look it up, and it's for dependency injection, which we would have to check out later. Alright, so for color we are going to use I think the white color here. Yeah, that's a F3. So we are going to call the app colors, and then something white. Yeah, so we are going to have this, and then what we have to do is that we'll make sure this text is aligned in the center as it is here, right? So we are going to have another property, which is text align. All right, so we are going to call this property, which is align. So when we come down here, we are going to have text align, and then we'll call align or center. So we'll call align or center, which means when we are aligning the text, when we supply an alignment, it goes to there are some new interesting apps, you can check it out. Go Talk, Before Gen Z, and Randara. Oh, let me screenshot this. Yeah, then I'll check it out. What do they do actually? Guys, don't forget to check out the YouTube channel. Yeah, the name is Code with Secho. I take you through basic apps, basic ways to build a mobile app, and in no time you will be able to understand what it takes to kind of build mobile apps as a pro. Yeah. Maybe not a pro, but yeah, when time goes on you become a pro. So let's now align this elements. All right, so as you can see, there's a little padding around the edges of the item, so we can do a little pattern. You can also check out Give Up and See. Give Up and See, is it an app? padding, then we are going to have a constant padding across all edges of the screen, so that's going to be 8.0. Yeah, so we have our elements like this. So if you check clearly, the horizontal padding seems to be more than the vertical padding, right? If you check the element from the horizontal edges and then the element from the vertical edges, it seems horizontal is somewhere 16 and vertical is around 8. So we can go in here and then supply that to our app as well. Yeah, so when we come, we'll use symmetric padding, and then horizontal will be 16, right? And then our vertical will be 8.0. So this becomes our vertical, and then we have this, as you can see. Yeah, so now the next thing is to build this. So this text, we can also move it to the strings just to keep it clean, right? Yeah, but let's finish with the two buttons. So this looks like an elevated button or a text button or something like that. So let's use a text button. No, that's not a text button, but let's start with this and see. So the last time I told you guys that we have different types of buttons that you can check out. We have text buttons, we have elevated buttons, and a whole lot. So let's let me put this text, and then let's say join now. Right, so if we should run this, we have this text button. Right, so another button is raised, is it raised elevated button? Sorry, elevated button. And then when we press it, we have this. But when you check elevated button, they have a little bit of elevation behind them, right? Below them, under them. So that's what you also have when we talk about elevated button. And then when we check buttons themselves, you have icon button, back button, close button, draw button, a whole lot of buttons that you can check out. All right, we have field button as well, which is a button that has a field color which you can change later. So what we need here is a field button, because in here there is a color in the button, and then all we have to do is to change that color, right? So when you are playing with Flutter, everything does, you can actually design a text button to work as a field button. You can design a field button to work as a text button. You can design any button to work as anything, but the reason why you would want to use a specific button for its intended use is because it saves you the time of trying to retouch things to make it be like how you want it. Right, so let's say you need this field button, and instead of using a field button, you went for a text button. So now you have to style the text button, give it a background color and all that, which you don't have to do when you are developing using the exact field button for that. So that's also one thing about using widgets in Flutter. Guys, don't forget to check out the YouTube channel. Yeah, we are live on YouTube, and when you go on YouTube, you get to experience a better preview or a better view compared to what you are seeing on TikTok. And when you get there, don't forget to subscribe. Yeah, so we are gonna have this button, field button. We are gonna have two of them. All right, the first one is saying join now, and the second one is saying guest order. Okay, so instead of join now, we are gonna have something that says guest order. Yeah, so now you can see both elements are given a Stack Overflow, right? Yeah, now if you want to take off this Stack Overflow, what you do is to take off the manual height that we gave to the container, so that now the height will be determined by the maximum child in the container. Yeah, and then when you check this button too, it is aligned in a horizontal form, right? So what we are going to do is we'll pick these two elements. All right, we'll pick these two elements, and then if you can remember the row widget that we've talked about, so we are going to use the row widget with children, and the children will be these two buttons, right? We are going to use these two buttons and they will be the children. Now we have our elements aligned this way. Now the next thing to do is to make sure that the elements are aligned in the center of the screen with an even space between them, right? So what you do, as you can remember, you do the main axis alignment, the space between, and then you should have this, as you can see. Now if you check the buttons, they are very close to each other, and we want to have a space in between them. Although there's a space, we want to have them kind of close to each other, right? And what we can do is to wrap these two elements in another widget called expanded, right? So we will wrap them in the expanded widget. What the expanded widget does is that it makes sure that it extends the width on the horizontal axis. If it is on a horizontal axis, it extends the width of the child to meet the maximum width or the available white space on the screen. And if it is a vertical and if it's used on a vertical axis, so if we use the expanded on the vertical axis, it makes sure it extends the height of the child to meet the available white space on the screen. So yeah, this is Flutter, Mr. Universe. So if we rerun this, this is how it looks like. Now you see both children are extended to meet the remaining white space on the screen. So this is Flutter. So all we have to do is to put a little space between these two children, and then we are good. So when we check width and then we put 8.0 space in between them, we are not gonna have something like this. Yeah, and this. So we can now check this with this, and we can see the space between them. This is not showing, but we know it's more than 8, right? So we can just keep the 16. Yeah, so now we have that. The next thing is when you check the buttons, they have a little padding. The rounded corners are not so round. They are not of the peel rounded corners like how this one is looking, right? So we'd have to kind of reduce the rounded corner, which is the radius. All right, we have to reduce the radius a bit and make it look like this. And also we increase the height a little, which is the vertical padding, right? So when you pick the vertical padding of the text, you can increase it, but for now let's check what we have here. We have button style and all that. So when you take the vertical padding, right, and do symmetric, when you change the symmetric padding to vertical of it, vertical of 16, yeah, now you have that. So you can do that to this as well, right? And then you have a symmetric of a vertical padding, which is 16. Yeah, so you should also have this. And then from there you can redesign it and then change the shape and all that, yeah, to look like how you want it to be. So we can go down here and then we go to style, and then we'll go to fill button dot style from. All right, yeah, style has to come before child, so style from, and then we can, I think we can change the radius, right? Yeah, shape, and then we'll change the rounded rectangular shape. right? And then we'll change the border radius and then circular, and then we can do 8.0. So now let's do data and see. Now we are gonna have it like this, as you can see. So 16 looks more like this. Yeah, now you can see. Yeah, so we are just gonna copy same thing for this. You see the reason why having a class that holds a button or a widget that you can use over and over again. You see why it is very important. If we had a single class that holds this widget, we are not supposed to copy and paste designs or copy and paste configurations. We just have to use that particular class, pick that design from there, then we are good to go. All right, so if we are to have this button somewhere, all we have to change is the color, the text, and then text color, and that's all. But now it's like we are changing everything. Yeah, so now the next thing we are going to do is to change the color, right? The background color, the field color of this particular button, the first one, right? We have to change the color, and then we move to the next the second one, and then we change the color as well. Whew. So let's come here. When we check the style from, we can see the background color. Right, so let's just give any color to the background color and see how it's gonna look like. So we have blue, and then that means we are good to go. So this particular color here is the C20. I have to go to app colors because I'm still not familiar with the colors, right? So that is the espresso brown, right? So we are going to use the espresso brown color. We are going to use the espresso brown color for it. So let's come here, app colors, and then let's use the espresso brown. Yeah, now you can see we have our color. Then the next thing we have to do is to come here as well, and then pick this particular color which you have here, right? So BA12, and that is the color we are going to use for the next one. Okay, let me see. BA2, so is that a creamy latte? Yeah, that's the creamy latte. So yeah, when we come here, we are going to pick this background color and use it in here as well. So what we are just going to do is call this, and then we are good to go. And then we change the color to, is this black? Nah, this is the espresso. Yeah, so with the text, we are going to change the text color to espresso, right? But let me check the type of text we have so that we can change things and then use it anywhere we want to use. So it's a medium with a size of 410 and all that. Guys, I think we can just, if we call the app text and we call medium, we would have to do a lot, but I think we should just call it and see. For now, let me copy this. Let me copy this, and then let me call app text dot medium, right? And then if we have the text in here like this, how is it gonna look like? Yeah, so we would have to kind of give it a font size and all that. That is what we would have to do, right? A font size and all that. I know it's gonna take time, but guys, let's just do it. Yeah, let's just do it. So we are gonna call double and specify font size. Yeah, so when we come here, we will use the font size, or we use the default one. Yeah, so now when we come here, we'll call our medium text, and then we'll call font size, and then the design says it is 14.0. Yeah, and then what we have to do is to specify color, which is the app colors, .espresso. Yeah, so this is what it gives us, as you can see. So all we can do now is to just copy the same thing and supply it to this as well, and then supply it to this, and then in here we'll say join now. Alright, and then in here we'll call our whites, and let's see, yeah, oh, so guys, that is that. And then I think the spacing is still too small, so let's see, 24. All right, so now what we have to do is that between this row and the text there is a spacing. All right, there's a spacing which is size box, height. We have to put a spacing between them, so 16.0 height, and then when we rerun this we have this. Yeah, so now we have this, as you can see. We have this, as you can see. Now when we come here we have this, and then we have this, and we have this. But if you look down, it seems like the pattern between this and then this is different, right? Seems like it's different. So what we have to do is to wrap this row, the row itself, we have to wrap it in a pattern. All right, we are designing according to the UI, so sorry if you see some things that you think it has to be this way, you can let us know, but in here we are designing according to the UI. Yeah, so now you can see we have the same pattern in here just as we have in here as well. Yeah. So now we have our text at the top looking like this, and then we have this. Now the next thing we have to do is to build this, which is already have an account. If you do have an account already, then you log in. That is the next thing. So let's go to the other box and then we build this now. Yeah, so this is our text, and it is 14, right? It's a medium of 14. So let's go in here and then let's pick this text because we are going to use it right now. So let's pick it, and then we'll use it. The color is black. Okay, so what is the first column? Yeah, we are done with the first column. Now we are going to the second column, which is a child. That takes a column, and then a column that takes a children, and then the first children takes this text, right? Guys, thanks you very much for the likes. Thank you all for the follow and all that. If you want to learn software engineering, you are interested in learning how to build mobile apps, don't forget to check out the YouTube channel Code with Secho, and in there you have access to all our episodes and what we've been doing so far. You also have access to the official WhatsApp channel where we share content and then resources concerning this particular course. Yeah, so we are going to have this, already have an account text which I've copied, so we'll drop it here. Already have an account, and then the color is going to be black. All right, so when we rerun, we are going to have something like this. Now the next thing we want to do is to take away the height of this container as well, so that the height will be determined by the longest element. So when we come down there, what we are going to do is that this particular container, we are going to give it a padding, right? And that particular padding is what will push the element, will create a space at the top, and then the bottom edges of the element, right? So we are going to create a symmetric spacing, and then the vertical is going to be 16.0. So let's do that, and then we are going to have our elements like this. Yeah, so we already have our text. The next thing is to create the button, right? So we are going to create our button. Should this be a fixed button or a raised button? This will be an elevated button. The reason why I call an elevated button is because of this little shadow behind the button, as you can see. Yeah. So we are going to call our elevated button, and then in there we are going to supply this particular properties, right? So we have the onPressed property, and then we have the child, which will always be the text. All right, we have the child, which will always be the text. So we have this text that is saying login. We have the text that is saying login, and then the color is the green one, right? What's the name for it? Is it the fresh mint? Yeah, I think that's the fresh mint color. Let me confirm. D7C. Yeah, that's the fresh mint. Okay, so we have the fresh mint color, and that's going to be our color. Yeah, so now if you can check the button, we already have the login and all that. So the next thing we have to do is to put a little spacing between these two, right? A 16 ps spacing. So we'll have a constant sized box. We have a constant sized box with a height. We are using height because the spacing is going to be a column, and we are spacing the element in a vertical row, so in a vertical alignment. So we are going to use height, and then that will be 16 point Z. So we have our elements like this. The next thing is to design the button, and then we are good to go. And since we want the edges of the button to touch both ends of the screen, we would have to use the expanded again. But to use the expanded for horizontal alignment, we have to make sure that we first wrap this in a row, right? The expanded is either in a row or a column, right? And then expanded. So when we rerun, we are having our elements like this. Yeah. So the next thing we are doing is to make sure that the elements on the horizontal edges are aligned, are separated away from the edge of the box, right? So we'll use 24 to push them as this one as well. And then we will call the style, and then style it as it looks like, as it's looking here. Yeah, so we have to first call the styling and work on the edges, all right, the radius, the border radius, and then from there we move to the next one. So let's go in here, and then let's call style. All right, so let me see if we can call elevated button. Don't start from, and then we are gonna call the rounded radius. All right, so we are gonna call the shape, and then the rounded rectangular border. Then we'll call border radius, and then that radius we'll call the circular border radius. Then we'll make it 16.0. When we rerun, it's gonna look like this. like the first one we did, right? Yeah. And then for the background color, we are gonna have white. The background color is gonna be white, so let's do background color, which is white. I think we have app colors dot white, right? You have this fully white from the app colors. Let's use an actual white. It's an actual white, guys. Yeah. And then the next thing is to use do the padding around the text. All right, so this will be symmetric, and then we are going to have a vertical padding of 16. Yeah. And then after that, we have to give it a border border. So let's see if we can give it a border. Does that have a border? Let's see. Background builder, blah blah blah. Shape, it has side. Okay, so now we can specify side, and then we call all. I think border side, right? So we are going to call border side, and then we specify colors, app colors dot fresh mint. So let's see. Yeah, so now we have the colors around the border, just that this one is a little bit big, right? So the colors are kind of big compared to that one. It's of 3px, right? So border side, color, and then the width is 3 according to the UI. Yeah, so guys, that is that. As you can see, we've been able to build this design just as we have it here. We've been able to build this design just as we have it here. It's no different from what we have on the UI UX. Let me align them line by line so that you can have it for yourself. So let me align it so that you have a look at the two. So guys, this is the two. This is how it looks like, and you should take a look at it. So yeah, this is how you build. This is how you build with us. If you are learning with me, this is how you get a chance to learn how to build and build according to UI. Yeah, this is how you learn to build and build according to UI. I see something small that we have to do. Yeah, I think I see something small that we have to do, which is the padding from this to this, and then the padding from this to this. Yeah, so the white padding looks a little bit smaller compared to the big one. So when we come here, let's go down and see what we can do. Yeah, so I think we are pretty cool. I think we are cool. We don't have to do much. Yeah, so guys, so far so good. We've done a lot. We've been able to achieve this just as we have it on the UI. So as you can see, the mobile design is on the left, and then the UI design is on the right. Everything looking exactly as it should be. Yeah, everything looking exactly as it should be. But let me confirm this color, because the color we have here is, yeah, okay, yeah, the colors are the same. It's just a difference on screen designs and all that. Yeah, so yeah guys, I think we've done a lot. I think we've done our part. The one thing I want to do right now is kind of increase the small speed. I said speed, sorry. let's put this. I think there's a little padding down here, so we have to put this in the padding and then do only bottom, and then when we do 8.0, then we are good. Yeah, so now we have it looking like how it is on the UI design. So guys, this is how it's done. This is how we do it. Don't forget to check out the rest of the videos. Don't forget to check out episode 1, episode 2, and episode 3. This is episode 4. And if you're interested in learning how to build mobile applications, or if you're interested in learning software engineering, don't forget to check out the channel Code with Secho. And from there, you'll join and then learn for yourself. Yeah, so I think this is episode 4, and we've been able to achieve this design as we have on the UI. Yeah, so in our next episode, we are going to be building the rest of this. Also, we are going to be building the rest of this. So let's restructure this particular element right now before we move to a new design, right? So we have salutation card as a widget, salutation widget. The next one we do is the login card widget. All right, the login card widget. This is the widget that we are using to tell the users to log in, right? So we have to put it in a nice widget so that we can use it on the home screen and not populate the home screen with unnecessary widgets or too much widgets. Yeah, so let's have this. Yeah, and then when we come here, we are just gonna call login card widget. Yeah, so now in the actual home page, when you do this, your app refresh, your upload items. After is that, then you have this particular elements. So yeah, we have the salutation widgets, and then we have the login card widgets, and this is the card that you can use to log into the app. All right, so yeah, that is episode 4, guys. It's good having you guys around. It's good building this particular episode with you guys. If you are interested in checking the rest of the episode, or if you want to receive a notification when we go on live, don't forget to drop a follow and check out the YouTube channel Code with Secho, and then have access to all these particular episodes when anytime you want to check them out or at your own convenience. Yeah, so guys, that is that. We have our cards and our screen built just as it is on the UI. The next thing for us, all right, yeah, I think I just saw something, guys. I want to close, but I keep seeing something small that I'm supposed to add. I keep seeing small things that I have to add, right? Let me check this and see. So is it layer spacing? Let me see. It's not the layer spacing here. I think it's the line height. So let's see. Yeah, so the line height is very small, like this, as you can see. Yeah, so the line height, I saw it when I was about to close, but I'm so yeah. So we have the line height, and this is 8 here. Yeah. So yeah, guys, the next thing is this, and we are good to go. Yeah. So yeah, guys, I think so far so good. We've been able to achieve exactly what we have on the UI. We've been able to achieve this just as it was presented on the UI. Yeah, so in our next episode, we will be building the screen down here. In our next episode, we will be building the drinks, the category, all right, and then we are going to build all these categories down here. This is where we are going to introduce a new concept called models, right? We are going to introduce a new concept called models, and we are going to introduce a new widget called wrapped. We are going to use the wrap widgets. We are going to try either to use a wrap widget or a grid widget. So we are going to introduce some few elements in the next episode. So don't forget to subscribe on the YouTube channel. The name is Code with Secho. As you can see in the comment section, the name is Code with Secho. And don't forget to check out the YouTube channel. All right, and also don't forget to subscribe and join the WhatsApp channel when you get there. Yeah, so guys, that is that. I'll see you on our next episode, hopefully tomorrow. I'll inform you when I'll be coming live. It's always 9 p.m, but looking at things, I might come live in the afternoon. Who knows? Yeah, so just subscribe and join the WhatsApp channel for updates, and I'll see you in our next episode.